have completely changed my life. I know many of you probably do not know much about me, especially if you are newer in this business. I'm not going to go deep into that, but just let me explain that when I joined this business, it was the worst possible circumstances in the world. I had just filed bankruptcy at 25 years old. I had a premature sick baby that was almost 1 year old at the time. I had, no upline. I got placed under somebody random from Beachbody. That person didn't work the business. The person above her didn't work the business. The person above him didn't work the business. And the guy like at the very top was like kind of schemy and did all the network marketing things that I knew I didn't want to be a part of. So I went alone and I did this business like completely by myself. And at the time, you know, of course it sucked and I felt sorry for myself for very few moments, and then I got over it. But I realized now looking back, like that was for a purpose, because I really had to get face to face with the thing that held me back, not just in this business, but in every area of my life. And that was the stories I told myself about who I was and why I was and what happened to me. Like I had this amazing sob story of why life wasn't working out for me. And I had to face it alone. Otherwise, I would have just kind of done what everybody else did. And, you know, I don't think I would be, in fact, I know I would not be where I am today. And so the things that I'm going to share with you did not take me one call like this, because I didn't have somebody presenting this call. I'm hoping I give you some shortcuts, because if you can process through this faster than it took me, which probably was a solid year of just hitting my head against a brick wall many a times, you can move as fast as Kate, which I was just asking in the chat before. I'm like, Kate, how long have you been a coach? 16 months. Kate Morgan, I can still call you Kate Morgan. Kate has been a coach for 16 months and has completely changed, forever changed her family's life. Her now husband, his life. That's crazy to me, because she was willing to fail forward faster. And you'll hear all about that tomorrow when she goes and shares exactly how she invites. Like, how freaking lucky are we that we get to get behind the scenes of a girl who is crushing it, and she's going to show you exactly what she does to crush it in her business, and you get to do it alongside her. Like, I would kill for what you have right now. But the blessing is you are going to get to go like learn this information, go do this information, and then pay it forward to your team. And that's the beauty of this. It continues to be spilled over into the next generation. So let's chat. Let's chat biz, but let's chat mindset today, because every Monday is going to be focused on mindset. It's a really important part of the business. I know oftentimes people hear personal development. You're like, yeah, I'm going to read Girl Wash Your Face for the 17th time. But let me tell you, my friend, you need this. You need to like really take this part seriously, because it doesn't matter that you know the entire compensation plan in and out. It doesn't matter that you have sent the perfect invite. You will hit a brick wall if you do not break the stuff that's showing up in here. So I want to talk to you about this little wheel here. And I know it might not be as easily read as it is for me. I tried to make it as big as possible. But over here I said potential, and above that I said identity. Here says action. Here says results. Here says belief, okay? So all of you started out in the business, and in your mind, when you signed up with Ashley, when you signed up with Holly, when you signed up with Nicolette, when you signed up with me, or whoever you signed up with, right? You had a certain idea of, one, you were inspired, right? So you went and took the action of actually signing up, but you had a certain idea of like what you kind of expected to happen. You thought, well, you know, some of you might have thought, well, it's going to be pretty difficult. I don't have a huge network of people, and I'm really nervous about sharing my journey. And yeah, probably a lot of people that I'm really close with, they are not going to be into this. I'm going to have to start with cold market. You have this whole story, right? You have this thing in your head of what your potential is initially. And based on that potential that you believed you had, you took a certain amount of action when you signed up. And if you didn't really feel like you had tons of potential, especially starting off, you're like, I mean, I don't want to burn any bridges. I don't want to say the wrong things. I'm just going to take a little bit of action. I'm going to kind of like, you're going to dip. I'm trying to get my toe in the picture. Come on. I can't. Dip my toe into the business. So I'm going to take a little bit of action. And based on that little bit of action that you took, you got a little bit of results. Like you might have had a couple people that were interested. Maybe one said yes, maybe one said yes. But the rest of them kind of like flaked on you or didn't ever respond. You're like, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. I'm like freaking out. I thought I would get better results than I did. So, okay, based on those results, the belief that you had when you signed up is like, eek. I think I might have already run out of people to talk to, right? You're like, I don't know, maybe I'll follow up with those people again that flaked on me. And then based on that belief, kind of shaken a little bit, you believe you have a little bit less potential. You're like, I'm running out. And then based on that, you take a little less action. You're kind of like really sluggishly responding to people, already kind of fearing the rejection. You like anticipate the no. Based on that action, you get even less results, which goes into having less belief, which goes into believing that you have less potential, which goes into taking less action, which goes into less results. And then this cycle continues until you want to quit. And that is not the road we want you to go down. So here is the thing that I think people do wrong. They switch up and they start here with their potential. But in truth, I believe you have to start here in belief. You have to start to shift the identity that you have about yourself in order to see different results, because here is what will happen. So let's say we focus on belief. We get really solid in the fact that, okay, sure, in the past, you may not have had awesome, friends. This is me talking. This is my past. Had no friends when I started this, had no social media. But I've kind of proven in my past that I can figure things out. Like, I'm kind of one that had to grow up and take care of myself, and I figured it out. And if you give me something, I can Google, right? I'm resourceful, and I really am a nice person. Like, I'm a really good person. I really actually do care about people. So why wouldn't someone want to have me as a coach? I really do believe that I want to take this to the top, and I'm serious about it. And the change is, the train is leaving the station. Like, I'm not quitting on this. And so I'd be a great coach to have because I'm all in. I've had great results with the programs, or I'm getting great results with the programs because I'm ultra committed. It would be awesome to have me as a coach. So I'm going to start to approach people and just share my heart and not worry what they think. And I'm just going to continue to extend myself and the invite, and knowing that they would be blessed to be a part of my team. Because one day, as I take these steps, I am creating what's going to be a dynasty. One day, people are going to look back and be like blown away with what I create. And so you start to focus and you create this vision and belief about where you're going with this. And then based on that, you start to believe this is your future identity. This is who you are becoming. And based on believing that you have this awesome potential, that you are going to do great things, you take a little bit more action, and you have a little bit more boldness and a little more authority in your invites. And based on taking more action, you get a little bit more results. You're like, oh snap, I got 3 people. I got Success Club. All of you guys in here got Success Club. And you're like, okay, all right, I did it. That was scary, but I did it. I did hard things. So based on those results, your belief is enhanced a little bit. And you're like, all right, so if I did that, if I started to double up on that and I did a little bit more, I think I could do that. I could find a few people on Instagram. It's not a big deal. There's like 5 billion people on Instagram. So surely I can find like 3 more for next month. Bam. All of a sudden, your identity starts to shift. You start to think, all right, I can do hard things. I'm doing hard things. I'm awesome at this. I'm really excited about the future. You take a little bit more action. Then you get a little bit more results. And then you get more belief. And then this wheel starts to go in the direction that we want it to go, right? Because all of this starts to spin in an upward pattern to build you up your future dynasty. Your future it's a self-fulfilling prophecy as you start to focus on the things that you want to become, all the things that you're committed to, all the vision that you want for this business for you. Instead of all the fears and the anxieties and what the past is about you, you spin it in a direction that can actually build your business for you. And that is where we focus in on.